comes to All Souls, it's one of those wrong place at the wrong time, but right place at the wrong time for another character situations where a young woman ends up becoming a confidential informant for cops, mainly because she doesn't want to lose custody of her daughter. To summarize the film further, River is a young woman, probably no older than 20, whose daughter Jade is around 3 years old. River is seemingly a low-level drug dealer to make ends meet. She goes to school, not sure for what major, and this naturally makes her the perfect target for cops, especially because they want someone higher up on the food chain who's named Silas, and between River's age, her being a cute young woman, they figure that between that and River allegedly having history with Silas, she could be a natural way in to take him down. Now, naturally, River lives a low-key life, so she doesn't want to get involved, especially to the point of having to wear a wire and potentially be a snitch, but throughout the movie, Jade is used against her in order to force her to comply, but you can tell that when it comes to River, there's only so much you can do to her or even dangle her child in front of her before she decides to take major risk. So the first highlight when it comes to All Souls is that it stays small. When it comes to most movies that have a confidential informant, they decide to take this small time person, put them in this crazy situation where they're going from small time dealer to going to some penthouse or whatever, and it makes no sense. And it seems like the person's being set up for failure. But when it comes to All Souls, yes, Silas has a bit of a compound, but with how things are set up between him and River, you can understand him wanting a young girl around or even allowing River into his space. And I would even say, in terms of how River reacts to the situation that she's put in, she's not like Rambo and she's like having accurate shots to whenever she gets a gun or has to really defend herself. Yes, she is definitely in full mama bear mode with adrenaline pumping and everything, but she doesn't suddenly have military training or anything like that. She's just somebody put up against the wall, pushed into a corner, whatever, and she realizes she can't talk her way out of this, so it's either she is going to fight or else she may end up dead. Her child may end up dead or worse. So it's either put up or shut up. And with that said, I should note that this film doesn't make it so that Jade is like a crutch. Like, Jade is definitely your usual cute kid that they put in films like this, but at the same time, she's a cute kid who isn't naive or innocent. Jade curses, flips people off. She doesn't use a weapon or anything like that, but it's shown that she is definitely a product of the environment that her mother lives in. And with that, she seems like a normal kid who's not made to just get your sympathy or anything like that. She's a kid who's young enough to be scared of the unknown, but at the same time old enough to adapt to the chaos and even to at some point normalize it. And what makes this kind of sweet in a way, which I know is a very strange thing to say, is that you can see that River has done her best to protect her daughter when she can, yet at the same time not shield her in a way where she doesn't understand that this is the real world. And seeing a dynamic like that feels very different for a movie like this, and it's appreciated. With that said, Silas, they don't do what needed to be done. Why in the world are these two adult cops deciding to take advantage of this young mother, to get to this man is not properly explained, or at least explained in a way where I can accept it. Because what is Silas doing that leads to you needing to take advantage of this girl? He doesn't seem like some high-level dealer. At most, the most dangerous thing it seems he's selling is Molly and Coke, but why? Was River supposed to be a means to end to get Silas out and make him a confidential informant so they can get somebody bigger? Like, there's information missing here so that you can understand the motive behind the cops that take advantage of River. And without it, you just look at Silas like, is this somebody who's supposed to be considered a villain? I mean, granted, he exploited River in his own ways back in the day, but it just doesn't seem enough for Silas to attract this type of attention or effort. Overall, when it comes to All Souls, it definitely delivers an entertaining movie that doesn't seek to go over the top, thus allowing it to not push you to impose too many questions. And even though Silas is definitely not built up as much as he should be, this movie overall still is something fun to watch.